Hey, it's Nicole, and I'm here with Love Infinity for another Positive Impact episode on our podcast about how to stay positive. And one of the things we both just kind of started talking about a few moments ago were how to keep your home or your space in a positive vibe. And it's sometimes really hard when you're living with other people, like Charity and I have both discovered. So,
Yeah, because you have all the other energies. Hi, everybody. Hi, out there. We love you. I'm so grateful. I also want to remind everybody, if you're not watching this live and you see it later, you are welcome to leave us questions after in the chat. We will get to you. We will answer you by typing answers back and or, contacting you however you contact us. We love questions and we love your tips too, right, Nicole?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you guys have any tips at home about how to keep your space uplifted, positive, more light, more love, more compassion in there, let us know that too. But I thought Charity has a really interesting tip, which you will resonate with if you've ever seen a movie about witchcraft. So hit it, Charity. Tell them.
Not only that, okay, so salt cleans everything. Negative energy, dirty energy, it cleans. We're made of salt. The whole earth is made of salt. It's designed for that. When you go somewhere all day and you take a salt bath, it cleanses you. It cleanses you. You're energetic. It cleanses your mind, body, and spirit. And it also can clean your house. So in feng shui and all of that, you clean your house and you put salt in the corners of your house. And also you can block out, they believe in the old ancient times too, evil energy or negative energies. If you put it in your doorway, it also keeps bugs away, ants. And if you do it on the doorways outside your house, and even one of my friends who lived in South Africa, you can put salt all the way around your yard to protect you from any negative neighbors. And this has worked. I've done it. I've tried it. And everyone listening, don't believe anything we say. Try it. Test us. Put everything to the test. Do not believe anything.
Yeah, always try it out. I love that idea of salt. That's the first time I've heard of that personally. And I love the idea simply because I have it and I have so much of it.
Yeah.
But we were just sharing, there's been really weird energy going around more recently. And I know you've had some weird calls. I've had some weird cancellations and odd things going on. So I do want to do that, like massive deep cleaning and then put some salt in the corners of the room.
And that on that note, they suggest when you do it, or the videos I've seen, and the one I was trying to find one of my favorite videos on YouTube that I love to watch because it gives you 10 tips about salt. And the best one is salt in the corner of your house. It will change your life, along with cleaning and moving furniture around. That said, they say start at the first room you walk in and clockwise to every corner a little bit, and then move to the next room and do it in that room clockwise.
Back in the day when I first started doing a lot of consultations for, psychic awareness, and I would read people, but I'd also read their homes. I used to do that with saging sticks and wands that you make out of, sage, but you also can intertwine other herbs in there to help purify the air. One of which was one of my favorites is rosemary. So I would do that, but I didn't know about the salt. So maybe we could all do that, saging a little bit, cleansing the energy of the house, and then putting salt in the corners of the rooms. That would be great.
There's another thing you can do too to burn it, like a sage thing. You take tin foil and you put Celestine salt or Epsom salt with rubbing alcohol and burn it. And you make sure that you have a long lighter or whatever, and you burn it. And you, with the intention of it's collecting, like it's a porthole for all negative energies in your home,
really,
or your area. And when it burns down, if it's brown, then they suggest that you do it until it stays white after it burns.
Wow.
Yes.
So you keep doing it.
Keep doing. So if it's white, then your house was pretty clean of any negative energies.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So,
that's really
so
good.
it's Epsom salt, or which was the other one?
Celestine. I actually have a bag. Hold on, let me get a bag.
Okay.
I have.
So apparently if you burn alcohol, I guess I'm thinking maybe a half cup of alcohol and some Celestine salt or some other salt in there, then you burn it safely. Please don't do this without having some water around somewhere, but you burn it. And after you've burned it, apparently you had some negative energy in your house if it turns brown, which this is fascinating to me. Now it's like a science project I'm dying to try. But you keep doing this process until that combination burns down and it's white. And then you know your home is clear of negative energy and you can expect good stuff to come as a result of that. But I was just mentioning to Charity that I have an issue with living with my two sons, and or three sons rather, and they all have their perception of what's clean. Can I hear anyone else's issues about keeping your space clean when others are present? But anyway, so that's what got us started on like trying to maintain a positive outlook. Really depends also on your environment. Is your environment clean? Do you have support in that effort? And do you have the time to do it? So we're just tackling a few of those suggestions today. You want to show us, Charity, the type of salt we need to use?
Celtic salt. Sorry.
Celtic.
Celtic salt is really good, and Epsom salt, foil, and rubbing alcohol.
Oh my God, she's so good. She got it together like that. That's awesome.
I have it handy because I'm required to clean the energy here. We've had a lot of visitors, and my sweet dear roommate he's going on the road, the medicine man.
Well, and I think, the nature of being a medicine man can really introduce a lot of negative energy periodically, just because people are coming to him for those services. So,
and the people we've had in here and the energy they've cleared out of them, because the plant medicines and the plant tech and the plant magics, they really they connect you with that, and when you acknowledge those things in your life that you bury deep down in us, and when you're free and clear of that and you acknowledge them, here they are, they're released back. They need to be properly put back and transmuted and transmitted into divine light, or
exactly
give it to the sun. Also, we use salt in pranic healing. In most healing modalities, you use salt to clean, and taking a salt shower, if you don't have time to take a bath, or some people don't have bathtubs, just pour salt on you with your soap, or put a handful of salt in your hand with soap.
I've always recommended that people get Dead Sea salt. Is super effective for cleansing your body in a bath of other people's energy, just purging out all. But Dead Sea salt for me is like the best. So there's only one little place here in Ridgefield that sells Dead Sea salt, and I go there periodically and stock up. But I also like the idea of using color, like color, like you had mentioned in another podcast, that color is so powerful. And you look at some of the teenagers, and it's very popular to paint your room a very dark, murky color. But honestly, it does a number on your energy when it's too dark. So my sons know, like, they're not allowed to paint things very, very dark. It just kind of sets a mood. And
I'm the opposite. I like dark colors.
Oh yeah.
I like primary colors, and I studied color in college. And color, it depends on what color. If it's your power color or what.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like black or dark purple. That can if you paint an entire room dark purple.
Yeah, I love it.
By show of like comments, just tell me, do you think it's going to be super uplifting, or is that going to get depressing after a while?
To me, purple is one of my power colors, though.
I love purple too, but a very, very dark shade, or dark brown, dark gray, all of those. My old house, I had different shades of gray, And the house before that, my living room and breakfast area were a gold yellow, like I put a sheen of gold over the yellow.
Gold's a color.
And then I did a little bit of like with a sponge, I did a little bit of texturizing, but that whole room was so warm and inviting. It was one continuous room from the kitchen through the breakfast room through the family room. And that really did make me very happy to walk in there, But I painted my son's room upstairs like a real navy blue and red.
I love those colors. That was my son's room when they were little.
But
I did the Ralph Lauren denim, the blue jean. That took a long time. It looked so cool because the room looked like it was blue jeans.
Yeah. My son loved the blue, but the red was irritating him. He was very aggravated. So I thought that was interesting.
Sometimes, red affects people like that. Also, you don't want to use red in the kitchen because it makes you eat more.
Oh, that's interesting.
Restaurants have it. McDonald's, red and yellow. You have
absolutely Chick-fil-A. Yeah, all of those have red in there.
More. And so when you notice red in the kitchen, you don't really want red in the kitchen.
No.
I love red. Myself personally, red, it's the chakra, the money chakra, the sex chakra. To me, I love red. I've always been attracted to red. It makes me feel powerful. I always used to look good in red when I wore it. I programmed myself to when I see red, I have a red wallet. It's money, money, money. And we learn that in pranic healing too.
Well, and that's very, very popular in the Asian, culture, especially when you're talking about feng shui. So like I had coins with red ribbons tied all over the house at certain points when I was, kind of like shifting energy from one like career path to another. I would do that. And it's funny we're talking about that because I am doing that now. So I have to get back on the ball and get those red ribbons and coins in place. Yeah. But there's also a lot of people who think that frogs have a huge attraction for fun. Sure. I'm having fun, but a huge attraction for money. So I don't know if you need money out there, you want to get some of your, frog friends and statues.
You want to see it? The feng shui frog with the coin?
I have them. Yeah, I have them too. I should show you my fountain.
Also, I want to say, go back to cleaning your space. Years ago, I read this little tiny book, and it's called Clearing Clutter with Feng Shui. Feng Shui or Feng Shui, however you say it. I say both. By Karen Kingston, and I love her stuff. I love her stuff, and I read it really fast on a plane ride it was such an easy read from like a plane ride from Tampa to LA or LA back. And when I got home, I literally cleaned under the stairs, and you don't believe how much stuff you collect over the years. And then I got addicted to it and started cleaning out junk drawers, and you get so much energy cleaning out stuff. And the rules or the suggestions are, if you haven't used it in 6 months, if it's broke, if it's not sentimental and beautiful, you clean it out. And if you haven't used it, books or anything, you clean up the energy, because you're making room for new. 2, you're giving or donating, and it's good karma to share. It's energy, moving energy. Things have to be moved to change.
And also, and this is a more recent like feng shui star quote, but I do believe this, and I have always believed this, that if you're holding on to something that someone gave you simply because they gave it to you, but it has a negative connotation to you, get rid of it. A woman who I used to be friends with years ago gave me a necklace, and it was a gorgeous necklace. But in that time, like, we had employed her husband in a hard time, and he lost us money. And then she accused me of like taking food off of their table because I recommended a few people get beads at different places. Oh, it was a nightmare. And so as much as I love this necklace, I was like, I'm giving it away because it just had so much, that it had so much other memory attached to it. And I didn't want that in my energy.
Yeah. And that too, before you give it away, or if you do choose to keep it, you can clean that. You can clean it in salt water.
Yeah,
And
it's just the visual for me. It just clicks something in my brain about, not really being very supportive and not having like a loyal friend who understood, what it was, what we were going through, whatever. But so that was something that I thought was interesting. And so getting rid of that. And I also have a friend who's huge on minimalism. So she'll walk through my closet and she'll be like, "Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed." It's just everything is too much for her. So
you wouldn't believe what a difference that clutter gets to your subconscious mind. I know there's some people out there that say that, and they can function like that. They need it to be. It's their what do you call it? Their way. There's a term for that.
A lot of people have the argument that when you're creative, you create clutters and messes. And I totally agree with that. I started out, in many lifetimes ago in my 20s as an artist. So you would go into my office or, my desk, and it would be piled high with, materials that I could, draw from or paint from or whatever. And then I'd have some paints here, and then I'd have some bills here, and then I'd have correspondence back here. But I knew where everything was. And I find that less organized clutter. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But now I don't feel attached to that identity anymore. Like, I am an artist, but I'm also a healer, but I'm also a psychic. But, so I don't feel like I have to have all of it out all the time. That's one thing I'm gradually healing myself of, is getting, past that thing of keeping it right there. Ironically, now my computer has stuff all over it. My husband will be like, "You got to close these 30 tabs." And then you,
30 tabs. The desktop. Yeah.
Yeah. Who has 30 tabs open on their Google Chrome,
or their desktop with all the files on their desktop.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
I realized a long time ago, especially when I started Positive Impact years ago, because I had it in our house. And with being a single mother, single father, the businesswoman, everything that I was doing, I would come home because I would have nannies, I would have interns, I would have assistants, I would have everybody in and out of the house, and just people. And everyone would be helpful and put things away. And I would come home and look for a spoon, and it would take me an hour. And I'm like, what? No, I don't have time to look for a spoon. So some of my friends who are professional organizers, now I'm not able to live without it. And they came in, labeled every cupboard. People thought I even got so organized that my closet was color coded. Sleeveless white shirts, sleeveless red short sleeve, color coordinated pants, everything. So I didn't have to think. I could just grab.
See, that's interesting. I don't live like that,
You did it. I got addicted because you realize how much time it saves when you're organized, when you know where everything has a place in your home.
Well, I will say, okay, so being a trainer, I will say I have like a stack of like 30 sets of leggings, and then I'll have like a stack that's just skirts. Oh, you don't know. Like I literally, when you're in the fitness and wellness industry or weight loss industry, and going back to that color theory. So I worked for Gold's Gym. I worked for a place called Lifetime. I also worked for All Sport, and all of these places, Club Fit, all of these places, the basic underlying color for all of the uniforms was black. So like at the end of the day, when I opened my own personal training studio and did my own thing, I'm like, I'm getting every color of the freaking rainbow. I don't have anything on. Like I just took off a peacock colored tights and leggings.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, they're so cool. So I have lucky elephants, I have peacocks, I have just, racer stripes, or I'll do like a variety, like purple pants and a pink top. I'll make sure that it's colorful because I can't stand, just black. You feel like you're going to a wake every day, I'm going to work.
I love black though. It's not really a color.
Right.
That said too, Wayne Dyer, and a lot of people say that, not just him. We only use 30% of our closet. And so I was testing this one time. I desired to wear everything I own. So I literally, well, first I just put it in the dirty clothes, and then I was like, well, the dirty clothes is getting crazy. So I did start washing them and just packing them away, seeing if I could wear everything. And then when you get out, I didn't make it all the way through my closet. You can donate and get rid of.
Right.
And then when you open that Tubbs back that you haven't worn in a while, I did it for a good 6 months. It's like new clothes again.
Oh.
So it was fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, we do that too. Like we packed away all the winter stuff. Actually, I still have a probably another box or two of winter stuff I have to pack away. And then I take out the summer stuff. But what I'm finding is like the things that I found so attractive and so pretty, like even 4 years ago, I don't like anymore. Like I'm a totally different person based on my experiences than I was 4 years ago. Yeah. So I want to keep purging that every year I go through. And now I'm up to it again.
I've done that too. And then I've wished that I kept, because I really like funky, unique skirts. And then when I haven't worn it in a while and I've worn it out, I've given them away. And then later I'm like, oh, I wish I had that fun, funky skirt because I really loved it. And it's so unique and I would get a million compliments on it. So some of those funky, really unique skirts I wish I still had. But then I'm like, nah, I can get another one.
I know exactly what you're talking about. At the end of the show, The Road to Wellville, that I worked on as a costumer, the director and all of the costumers were kind enough to let some of the staff take one item as a memento from that time. And I took a beautiful toga, a woman's toga, and it's, just like laid around in my closet for, I want to say 10, 15 years. So then I finally took it out and I used it as a costume for Halloween a couple of times, and I took pictures in it, and I was like, oh, I'm done. But now, like, I feel like, oh, that was such a special, unique thing. I could have used it in this photo shoot or done that, or, I just like, now I'm kind of regretting it. I hear you.
Yes, but no regrets. And that's why it's probably good to have someone with you when you're purging and going through your stuff. Because you can always you replace it. And if you think that about everything, you'll never get rid of anything.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This has been sitting in my closet for 15 years. I can get rid of this now. But, obviously that didn't work out so well. But there's another feng shui lady who I like a lot. Her name is Tisha Morris. She's very, very cool. Yeah. She gave me a free consultation, feng shui consultation for my space in Ridgefield here. And she was the first one to say, I feel like hashtag psychic trainer is going to be a television show. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, before we close up today, are we going to do a reading or a meditation today?
Yeah, I mean, if someone's out there who'd like to get some psychic insight on a question they have, I'd be happy to answer. I've been giving readings since I was 16 years old, and more recently in the last 15, 17 years or so, I've been doing more mind-body readings, but I also see people and I can predict timelines and give you guidance if you need it. We're doing this every Wednesday and Friday at 2:30 p.m. so that everyone can kind of have an opportunity to ask a question for free. If there's a lot of people will be like, oh, what about my love life? Where am I going in my life in terms of career? And will I move next? I used to have a woman who would, for like a year and a half, she hounded me every month. She'd ask me the same questions. I'm like, ultimately, this and this is going to happen. And sure enough, it did. But, it's very interesting how your energy can also change your circumstances, which is based on not just karma and your soul, but it's also based on, I discovered in the last 10 years that I actually made a very spiritual pact with the Holy Spirit. And that's part of why I'm living out this process of helping other people, get to where they need to be, because that's a part of my soul path. So I find that interesting that sometimes your soul path just takes a twist or a turn, and it wasn't something you anticipated or expected or planned on. And here you are, you're, now doing A, B, C, or D, so just be available and open to the information as needed, I guess. So no one has really commented or asked any questions. So do you have any questions, Charity, about anything like that?
Yes, I do, because we were taking a toll on Positive Impact, the group, the global page, the fan page, and it seems like people are interested in wealth and abundant living.
Ooh.
So maybe we can ask a question about wealth and abundance.
So I personally feel, the more channeled sessions I do about just the state of the union, so to speak, our country at large, I feel like more and more people are going to be exploring and finding better pathways to their wealth at this time. Does that make sense? It's like, we're going through this learning curve about what we can and can't do to create wealth in our lives. And the things that we thought we could never attempt are now becoming available to us because of the COVID scenario and the fact that, we're starting to kind of shift our energy in terms of like, not just being more grounded and opening that root chakra for more of that earth energy to come in, and that the abundance energy to come in, but we're also, kind of like exploring new thoughts and ideas. And I was just talking to your friend Carmen a little bit earlier about how everyone in the spiritual world, we're looking towards science, and people in the science world are looking towards the spiritual world in order to.
They're coming together.
Yes, they're coming together. And that unity is going to birth all different and newer types of abundant wealth for everyone, which I think is really exciting. But if you're talking about,
I need pom-poms. I would like to have some pom-poms if anybody has any for sale.
Yeah, exactly.
We need pom-poms to cheer each other on.
You got to be able to find those in like a thrift store or something like that, don't you think?
I desire. If anybody out there has any, I would love some.
Yeah. But what you could
get around the house.
What you could do about like the abundance thought is the black hat theory and the Bagua map. Have you ever looked at the Bagua map?
Hold on one second.
Uh-oh. So there's this thing called the Bagua map. If you're a feng shui advocate or like the idea of feng shui, the Bagua map places the wealth area in the far left corner of the house based on the front door. Now, there are other feng shui schools of thought that go by your birth date and directions. So if you have a friend, or if you would like to look it up, you can probably figure out where your personal wealth and prosperity is in your house. And in that area, you want to beautify it. You want it to be brightly lit. You want to have beautiful colors, some fresh flowers, and also a fountain feature is a good idea.
Plants.
Plants. Yep. I said flowers, but yeah, plants. Absolutely. I have 3 jade plants. Jade is an excellent bringer of prosperity and wealth in the wealth and prosperity area.
Also all plants that have round leaves or heart shaped for the love corner.
Yep.
We should post let's post a Bagua map. Geronimo's moving.
Hi, Geronimo.
A big, heavy cabinet.
Uh-oh. Time to go.
Heart. Watch the heart. Anxiety.
Okay, so if no one has any questions for me, I'm a psychic. I'm be happy to answer any of your questions. We're going to say goodbye then, right?
Yeah, sorry about all the interruption and my craziness.
No,
I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better at this. At
yeah.
least doing videos now. Before I was very shy about coming on camera with being
Oh, really?
yes.
You're
As
doing
a
beautiful.
photographer, you know how doctors don't like to be sick? Photographers don't enjoy being put. I can bring out the beauty in other people. So now I'm getting used to being on this side of the camera.
Oh,
So
you're so beautiful. It's so,
so
it,
thanks all you listeners and watchers for your patience with our growing curve here and our learning curve with all these new technologies and things. I've got to relearn it all. We
yeah.
lost, so
This is all,
it all changes so rapidly.
yes. This is all kind of new to myself, the stream yarding. It's a new format. I've done a lot of videos in the past on my own, but anytime you do something with another person, you're always kind of like exploring the right way to do it, and what's best, what looks best, what doesn't look best. I was going to go outside today, but I was afraid I was going to have a lot of noise in the background and dogs barking, so I didn't want to go out there.
Yes.
But maybe that's a better idea.
Whew, yeah, I didn't know. And I'm going to be hopping on another podcast here with Justin Taylor. So stay tuned in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, Charity will be right back, right?
Yes, I love you, Nicole. I love all of our listeners. Thank you for supporting us. And thank you most of all for your patience and your love.
Thank you, Charity. I love you too. And enjoy your afternoon, everyone. We'll talk to you Friday at 2:30. Is that right?
Yes.
All righty. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.